Today, I'd like to talk about something in counseling we call reframing. And reframing is when you take a particular circumstance or situation that you're in and you see it from a different perspective. And this is a lot of what I do as a counselor. Is I'll have a client come in and they'll be describing what's going on in their life, and they'll be telling me kind of how they're working through it and how they're processing it and kind of their view of things. And as a counselor, a lot of what I do is help them see a different perspective. So often in our own lives, we can get tunnel vision and not see the full picture. And counselors are really great at offering up a different perspective. Wise friend can do this as well. So I'd like to do this a little bit with a story that's been in the news for the past couple weeks. And this is a story of Alex Smith. Alex Smith is a quarterback for I was about to say Washington Redskins. They are the Washington football team, awaiting a new name. They are no longer the Redskins. But Alex Smith, 2 years ago, suffered a terrible leg injury. He was sacked. He plays quarterback. He was sacked and suffered a compound fracture in one of his legs. And this injury, there's video out there. Do not look at it. It's horrific. This injury, was compared to Joe Theismann's injury. So if you're a sports fan, you know of that one. It's kind of legendary in terms of just how bad it was. So it's a pretty devastating injury. And so he has surgery and things are looking okay. And then things really take a turn. And he ends up having 17 surgeries in the ensuing weeks after the injury. And for a while there, things get really bad. And they think the infection eventually developed sepsis, which is life-threatening. And they thought at a minimum he would lose his leg and potentially would lose his life. So just miraculously, he pulls through, he rehabs, and actually a couple weeks ago takes the field for Washington. And yesterday, he's playing well as starting quarterback, playing well. And yesterday, got his first win in 2 years since that injury. And what a great story! I mean, of perseverance and strength and courage. And we need some more good stories like that in 2020 for sure. But I wanted to take a minute and reframe this story, the story of Alex Smith, as just kind of an example. And too often in the sports world, at least, or really in careers in general, decisions are kind of binary. They can be viewed as binary. So Alex Smith, he could make a comeback, go back on the field. That's a success. That's courage. Or, this is how one could view it, he could quit, leave the game behind. And I want to reframe that. And let's do it this way. So you're Alex Smith. By God's grace, your life has been spared from this awful infection. By God's grace, your leg has been spared. You can walk. You can run. Presumably, he can do most of what he did prior to the injury. He's married. He has 3 kids. He's in his mid-30s. And I think he can make the case that he could walk away from the game to spend time with his family, start a second career. From everything I've read, he's brilliant and would have a lot of career opportunities, right? So I think you could make a good case that it would take just as much courage to walk away from the game on his own volition, knowing that the game almost took everything from him once, and to be able to say, I'm not going to let the game do that again. That's reframing. Now, Alex Smith's decision is between him and his family and God, and none of us can walk in his shoes. But reframing is taking that situation and seeing it differently. So walking away from the game, if that was what he decided to do, I think he can make a good case that was incredibly courageous, that would have been incredibly courageous. That's what reframing can do. That's what a good counselor can do. That's what you've got a wise friend or a parent can help you do that too. So I hope that was helpful. Out for now, and we'll see y'all next time.